Hello guys, my name is Jake, and today will be a relatively short video, but it is going to be at the next governor election in New York. Now the reason I'm doing this video is because I do live in New York, so I've been pretty focused on this, seeing what's been going on, and there has been some interesting things which have been going on recently. Obviously, New York is a blue state. However, as we can see in the last gubernatorial election, it was within 7 points. So this is something which has been getting more attention as years have been going on. Because as we can see, the shift from 2020 to 2018 to 2022, relatively big shift. Now, there's a couple of reasons why he may have done this well. Well, especially considering Andrew Cuomo was the former governor, and Lee Zeldin was very popular. But still, it's a very interesting development. So we're going to check Polymarket for their 2026 um, percentage, and it currently says the Democrats have an 88% chance of winning. And this, which is relatively low, especially because it's New York. So, on the Republican candidate, if you asked me a month ago, I would say the Republican primary would almost certainly be won by Stefanik. She's very popular up north. She's relatively young. Um, so I believe she would win. And this other candidate was Bruce Blakeman, who is my executor. Um, he is very popular in Nassau County. In 2025, as we can see here, he won re-election to the Nassau County Executive by 11 points. This is a much bigger jump than his narrow win last time. And obviously, Nassau County has been shifting red just because of how the demographics have been shifting over here. But this still is a relatively big change, which is especially important just because 2025 was a blue wave. So having this 11-point win is it was a pretty big surprise to me. I thought he was actually going to lose. So the thing is, though, in the Republican primary, at least I don't know why she did, but she withdrawn. Some people say it was because of her not getting an endorsement from Trump. Some people were saying there's some personal reasons. I don't really know. Fact of the matter is she dropped out, so it won't be her. So it will almost certainly again be Bruce Blakeman. Now, Mike Laura was another possible candidate. I would think he would have had a chance of winning it, but he is not going for it. So you can see Bruce Blakeman is just going to win. There's literally no other candidates. Now for the Democrat side, this is also something which is slightly it will be kind of looked at just to see if there's going to be any opponents to Kathy Hochul. She has an 89% chance of being the primary winner, but this wait, does that yeah, but Kathy Hochul isn't very popular in New York. I mean, she still has probably positive approval ratings, but considering it's a very blue state, kind of a bit surprising. And sorry, she has her own lieutenant governor running, which is very interesting because I'm pretty sure they ran on the same ballot. So it's very interesting, which kind of shows a slight revolt. He's polling at 12%, which isn't good for him, but who knows what could happen. One important thing here, though, is possibly some of his voters may not vote for Kathy Hochul. I don't think that would happen, but it's a potential scenario. Conservative primary will just be Bruce Blakeman. That's how it always works. And there has been some polls. It has been interesting. They have shifted a couple to likely, which I don't think that's a good move, but there has been a couple polls, as we can see. Bruce Blakeman within 14 points within this one, which is not very good, but I believe this undecided number could potentially go to him because his name recognition isn't really out there. So even though he's very popular in Nassau, in upstate where it's very red, he isn't as known as Stefanik would have been. So we can see his potential polling is slightly better than I think Stefanik, consider if you can consider the undecided vote. And we can also check the Polymarket and see how that's going. And if we can check this, if it will ever work, you can see the 80% chance of becoming a Democratic governor. So this is a race which is probably going to say Democratic, but it's going to be very interesting to look at, see if it's within a certain range. It could be potentially good for the midterms for the Republicans. We will just have to see. But that will be all for today. Thank you for listening. Just let me know in the comments what you would want me to do.